A successful man. That's the answer. That's the kind of man that doesn't mind raising another man's child. So I see a lot of narrative on social media directed towards single mothers, like, how do you expect to find a man that want to raise another man's child? I expect to find it because it's reality. Women with children are getting married every single day. So that's why I expect it, because that's what I see. That's what's happening. And when I say successful, I don't mean financially. I mean, I'm not excluding that, but that's not what I mean. I mean a man who has raised children who are law-abiding, successful citizens. And they want to expand their legacy. So this man may be 55, hell, 60 years old. He know he ain't having no more kids, but he loves what he's done with the kids that he has. He loves what these kids are doing and where they're at in life. And he would love to duplicate that. He might not want to have a toddler that he got to chase around the house and potty train again, but he wouldn't mind taking an 8-9-year-old child and pouring into them and seeing them grow up and be as successful as his other children. The type of man that would not mind raising another man's child is the type of man who has successfully raised children, or who has raised successful children. So ladies, remember that. Don't let nobody tell y'all you can't get nobody because you got kids. Just make sure you're getting the right type of man, because they out there.
Anyone find it amazing how these women like to tell other women what a man will and will not do, as if they're a man? But I tell you, this is the type of message that single mothers love to hear, even after years of not holding a man down. They still believe it's going to happen one day. Listen, I'm not here to beat up on the single mamas, the single ladies, the single woman. I'm just here to spit some facts from a man's perspective, from a lion's perspective, from logic perspective. First and foremost, this woman is telling you all to make sure you get the right type of man to help raise them kids. After, I repeat, after she had the kids for the wrong type of man. Is that what you think us lions are looking for? Woman, whether you are a divorcee, a widowed lady, or a never been married single mother, the pluses of raising your kids are not in a man's favor. The typical man does not want to raise kids he did not produce. There are exceptions, of course, but they are not in the majority, and a few of them tend to be the low-value type of men. The type of men you can't stand for too long.
And when it comes to stepkids, that's the hardest shit in the world, because they're not yours. And it's very difficult, even though this is not said often, but it needs to be said. It's very difficult to be patient with a disrespectful stepchild. There is a separation that people don't like to talk about. Even though the separation can bond into something beautiful, a lot of times it doesn't. So when a stepchild is talking crazy, you really don't have the patience, and in some cases, the love to tolerate them. It's not popular to say. Stepkids, as I say on stage, stepkids are the people who live with you and your woman. And unfortunately, if they are disrespectful, they must be dealt with.
Many women do not respect the men who step into that role as a stepfather. Generations ago, if a man decided to be with a woman with kids, that woman had respect for him, and he had full authority in the household where they all live. This made it easier for a man to be with a baby mama. Nowadays, in these modern times, the kids are placed above the man. The women tend to be disrespectful to the man. Seeing, if the man tries to discipline her kids and try to have a say in what's going on with the kids, the mother undermines him and constantly argues with him. Now you have the stepkids sitting in that house, seeing all of this going on. What do you think is going to happen? Those kids don't know that they don't have to respect that man. They don't need to listen to him. Lord have mercy if the child accused the man of touching her when she doesn't get what she wants. That man might end up in jail with no proof of anything. No, why would a man want to deal with a situation like this? He doesn't know what he's going to get. So why would he want to even attempt to enter a situation that could lead down this road? Some men grew up with stepfathers and may be more inclined to partake in such a relationship.
Sweetheart, that man has been raising your kids, being real good to you and your children. He's been paying the rent, takes care of school clothes, all the other bills in the house, and you contribute. But I'm saying he's doing all of this for kids he didn't create because he loves you. And obviously he loves the kids. When they were little, he bought Pampers, he changed Pampers. Walked them to school on their first day of kindergarten, and every year after that, bought their first bikes, and 2 of them their first cars. He made sure they were straight for graduation, middle school and high school, because that's what a good father does. And he does it without throwing it in your face just because he's mad at you. So why is it when one of those kids feels like they're old enough to disrespect him, to yell, "You ain't my daddy, let me live my life," blah, 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 all because that kid can't get what they want from him? You can't open your mouth and stand your ground for your man. And when he stepped to that kid to try to get him in order, you had a problem with it. Even though your man was right. He didn't call that child out his name. He didn't put his hands on him. But he did let him know he would not disrespect him. But you're wondering why he's upset with you. Let me tell you why. Because your husband had every right to put that boy in check. And you should have stood there and let him do it. And then took your turn. Because as his mother, you should have backed his stepfather. You would have done him more good for him to see how a man and a wife should stand together and how both parents should have put that boy in check. That was your moment as his mother and your moment as a couple to show him how it's supposed to be done.
No, my lions, kids nowadays don't show respect to their elders. These modern day single mothers want us men to be stepdaddy to provide the stability they want in a family. But guess what? The authority of a husband or a father figure is taken away from us. But they want everything else that we have to offer. That does not work for a competent man. The family will eventually break down and the single mother will be back to square one, being a single mother with no man around.
No! 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 Lonze! Listen to me right now. Give me the phone!
Yeah, that's what I don't want. Let me just give me a place.
I didn't raise you to be like that. Do I disrespect you? No. So you don't disrespect me. Does your father disrespect you?
He's not my father anymore. He's my stepdad.
Is this what you're looking for, my lions? I certainly hope not. Hold tight. Gone again.